Dozens of Palestinians have been killed and injured as strikes in Gaza continue, despite US President Donald Trump's demand for Israel's bombardment of the Strip to be paused. Hopes are growing that a peace agreement can finally be reached in Gaza, but there is still anxiety the deal could fall over entirely.
The Palestinian Health Ministry says more than 60 people have been killed in the past day, and aid workers are also witnessing the atrocities.
UNICEF, everyone has been very, very clear. The decision's overnight. This is good news, any news, to stop the killing and maiming of girls and boys here is good news. But it's 1 o'clock here in Gaza on Saturday, and Summer, this is Summer, she's 10 years old, and there was an airstrike 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago, after all the decisions have been made to stop the bombing. 2 hours ago, and Summer was collecting water. This has to stop.
Middle East correspondent Mathew Doran reports now from Tel Aviv.
Well, this certainly seems to be the closest that Israel and Hamas have been to a peace deal for many, many months now. But we do need to stress it is still not a certainty. The negotiations on the finer points, which Hamas are still finding difficult to agree to, will begin in Cairo on Monday. There is, though, a sense of impatience here, certainly from the US President Donald Trump. He's taken to his social media platform, Truth Social, to urge Hamas to come to the negotiating table in good faith. He has said that he appreciates that Israel has temporarily stopped the bombing in order to give the hostage release and peace deal a chance to be completed, adding that Hamas must move quickly or all bets will be off, insisting he will not tolerate delay, which many think will happen, or any outcome where Gaza poses a threat again. Let's get this done fast. Everyone will be treated fairly. Now, Donald Trump's claim there that Israel has stopped its bombardment of Gaza isn't quite accurate. The IDF certainly has paused its mission to take control and occupy Gaza City in terms of pushing ahead with that. But the Israeli military is still conducting what it describes as defensive operations. And we've seen more Palestinians coming through the doors of Gaza's hospitals once again. The death toll in the Strip now in excess of 67,000, according to local health authorities. We've also heard from Donald Trump on Truth Social that Israel has agreed to a number of withdrawal lines, areas that it will withdraw its troops to as this process is underway. Again, this is a sticking point. Hamas has always demanded a total and immediate withdrawal of Israeli troops from Gaza. Israel has always insisted it would still maintain a presence in the Strip for its own security purposes. Donald Trump has also said this evening, local time, that Israel has agreed to a number of withdrawal lines, areas that Israeli forces would pull back to as this ceasefire and hostage release deal is enforced. Now, this is a key sticking point. Hamas has long demanded a total and immediate withdrawal of Israeli troops from Gaza as part of any agreement. Israel has always said it would maintain a military presence in Gaza. Benjamin Netanyahu going so far as to say that again this evening. The pressure that Hamas and Israel are on to get to a deal, not only from people in Gaza and in Israel, this pressure that's coming from Donald Trump, the US president, because of his involvement in there, certainly is fueling the sort of comments that we've seen tonight from Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister.
We are on the verge of a very significant achievement. It's not final yet. We are working on it diligently, and I hope, God willing, that in the coming days, even during the Sukkot holiday, I will be able to announce the return of all our hostages, both the living and the fallen, in one phase, with the IDF remaining in the depth of the Strip and in the areas that control it.
Mr. Netanyahu's negotiators who are travelling to Cairo aren't the only ones with their work cut out for them. He is going to have to convince key members of his own coalition cabinet that this is the right approach. And we've already heard from two very vocal members of that cabinet, the far-right Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich and the National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir, both very critical that the government is going down this path. Mr. Smotrich saying that it is a grave error and a waste of everyone's time. Itamar Ben-Gvir threatening again to quit the government if this deal is agreed to. He did that once before. He quit back in January when the last ceasefire was agreed to, but he was welcomed back into the fold as the Israeli Defense Forces resumed its bombardment of Gaza in mid-March. On the streets of Gaza, Palestinians have told us today they are hopeful of a deal, but they are also wary the terms at the moment are heavily weighted towards Israel, and any peace agreement is just the first step in the recovery in Gaza, which will take many, many years. And here in Tel Aviv, tens of thousands have taken to the streets to demand the Netanyahu government strike a deal and bring those remaining hostages home. A familiar refrain each and every Saturday night for 2 years now, which is only getting louder and louder by the week. So it is optimism tempered with a fair amount of caution as these negotiations enter a particularly delicate phase.